Music is your DNA. It's your purpose, your motivator, your catalyst. My name is Alex J, and I'll be your tour guide onto the journey towards your new professional music career. Join me as we uncover the music industry's secrets. From creative concepts to business and marketing, here are the keys to the next level. Welcome to the Music Chop Shop.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is the Music Chop Shop podcast. My name is Alex J, and I want to welcome you to another episode of our podcast. If you're seeing this video on YouTube, please like this video and subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so already. You can also find us on every major podcast platform, including iTunes and Spotify, and at our medium.com blog at Music Mastermind. Also, check out our music resource page. It's amazing. It's located at musicmastermind.com/resources. You're going to get a lot of free stuff and recaps of every single episode of the podcast. Today, I want to talk about something that's always coming up in every single conversation that I have with producers and engineers. And I actually have a really old video that you guys keep going back to, and it gets getting clicks and comments and crazy stuff. And I wanted to kind of address it. I had a really cool comment of somebody that was kind of like juggling my thoughts on the subject. So I say, hey, why not do a revamp of the subject and then do a new video? So this is it. So cracked plugins, are they good? Should you use them? Should you not use them? Why? My personal stance is you don't need to use cracked plugins, there's no reason for you to actually use them. And I'll tell you why, okay? Let me give you some context. I grew up, in the 90s, right? In an external country that's not a developed country. Caracas, Venezuela is where I'm from. I grew up in Venezuela. It's not the United States, Canada, or Europe. It's Latin America. We're delayed in a little bit when it comes to technology and culture. We get it a little bit later. At the time, I was like 14, 15 when I started this production engineering journey. I did not have access literally to any software, right? You couldn't go to a store and get a piece of software and use it. Whoever brought that software, it wasn't a formal store. It'd be somebody who just got it from outside and they just copied it and gave it to all of his friends. So I'm pretty sure if they could track that now, like you'd have like one license of Waves or Pro Tools like across a million users, because there was no internet. You couldn't track it. Like companies just made software. They gave you a key that came in a little paper with a box, and then that key was the only key. You couldn't call customer support and get stuff. Like there was no communication. So whatever you got is what you got, right? That being said, that's literally how it would work. So if you wanted Pro Tools or you wanted Waves or you wanted anything, you had to get it from somebody else. So it had to be cracked. So did I crack plugins when I started? Yes. Did I want to? No. I had no choice. Like I couldn't walk into a Guitar Center or a Samash or go to the actual digital store because internet wasn't around. I had dial-up in the beginning, Then when I was a teenager, maybe DSL and stuff, but there wasn't any access to the stuff from outside the States. Like here, of course, you could work, go to any big store, Samash, Guitar Center, like whatever, and then you could get stuff, whatever was available at the time. But, you still had access. You could walk and go and pick it up. I couldn't do that. So every software that I had was completely cracked and pirated. And I'll tell you why I hate working with cracked plugins. Because one, you never knew what you're gonna get. So sometimes I would get it from some dude, right, and install it on my computer, and it was missing one file because they forgot to burn that one file on the CD or something, and whoever was doing it did it wrong. So you wasted your entire time, or they would have errors in coding because it's like copying stuff gets lost, and it would be giving random errors in the middle of a session or I'm creating. Or I had one time, which is the most horrible experience I've had with cracked plugins. I actually installed this like super cool software. I can't remember what it was. It was, I don't know, like Reason or something. And I was completely cracked from some dude. I got it, like a friend of a friend. And it came with a Trojan. And it actually wiped out my entire computer. So it was like 3 years of work on like music I had done. Completely gone in a second. And I was using like a rinky-dink Windows desktop at the time. And it taught me a lot about software and like good software and having stuff that's legit that actually works. And if it breaks, you can call someone and like they'll help you, right? Which again, at the time, there was none of that. So I couldn't just call up Avid or call up Sweetwater or call up a friend. And like, and there's like few people doing this music production stuff. So it was very limited. Okay. So that being said, fast forward to now where you have solid internet connections almost everywhere across the globe, including Venezuela. You have software companies that are making it easy for people to get on board, whether it's a 30-day free trial or they're doing like cheaper versions of the plugins or student versions that you can get if you're a student, which is mind-blowing. You can actually get access to them. It's easy. So when I moved to the States and I was like 15, the first thing I did was, oh my God, I can go to Guitar Center and get this stuff. So I started buying software. And, another example, I had Waves Mercury completely cracked. And you're like, great, if I used more than 3 plugins, that's like as many plugins. I didn't use more than 4 or 5 plugins, honestly, completely honest with you right now. So do you need that whole suite of plugins to work? No, I didn't. I actually didn't know how to use half of them. Like, I didn't even know the SSL was a thing, or that the plugin, like SSL had a plugin, and I didn't know how to use it. I actually have a funny story for later for another podcast episode about that, with a big producer that he'd rather me use the plugin instead of the board. It's kind of weird, but whatever. Going back to the point, so I would go into the stores and I would, if I learned about, EQing or compression, like I would get a plugin, right? Just one, right? Because you could. And then you learn how to use it really well. So that's why even today, even though I have a lot of plugins I've purchased and I spend so much money just to get the stability and the support that comes with that stuff, and then you have the connection with the manufacturer as well, I use like 5 to 10 plugins tops, like just as a preference, because it's more of a creative thing at that point where the combinations of them, but really like 10, 15 is the most I use all the time. So, do you need crack plugins today? There's no need when you have actual ways of getting your hands on the software and trying them out and learning. Because a lot of people are like, but how are you going to learn if you don't practice? Well, dude, get the trial. And then if you like one of those plugins, get the license. And if you can't get the full-blown version of the software, like, okay, FL Studio. Why do you need the mega producer tip-top package when you don't even know how to record and like actually how to make your track sound good, or you don't know anything about compression or harmonic distortion, and you leave on the limiter on the master bus every time and you don't even know how it works? That's what I'm saying. Just get the basic version, learn the ins and outs, learn the I/O, learn dynamics, learn the piano roll, learn like how does the limiter work. It's beautiful, it sounds great, but if you use it wrong, it sounds like garbage. So a lot of people are out there, they're just going with it, not really taking the time to learn it. And that's where the most value is. So you don't need crack plugins to learn. So that's a myth, right? You can get away with making something that sounds incredible with like 3-4 plugins. You don't need the studio. You don't need me to tell you what to do. You literally, if you know what you're doing and you study the craft, you're going to get amazing results. So stop with this idea of being lazy, because I'm talking to you. If you're serious about this and you want this to be your career, like you want to move forward and kind of like get to where I am or even bigger than me, just take it seriously, man. Take it seriously. Go buy your plugins that you like. Try them. There's subscription models that you can pay like $10 a month or something. You can get stuff and you can literally play with it all day. And if you can't pay that month, you stop it and you resume. So it's so easy to get into stuff like, there's no excuse to do sucky stuff or not to get into a piece of software. I understand if you want something want to get something that's super, super, super expensive, then that's different. Then you save money. And once you get there, you'll, 1, appreciate it so much more. And 2, you'll know how to use it because you'll know everything else. So don't go the cheap route. Like, invest in yourself. And that's an investment. You're not just throwing money away, man. You're literally investing in yourself. Because it's like, imagine you go to a garage for somebody to work in your car, or something with the engine. And you hear the guy like, oh, no, yeah, this is a stolen screwdriver. And like, oh, I don't know if this works. I got this guy from a guy or a secondhand shop. I'd be concerned, right? It's like, it's my car, dude. I drive everywhere with that thing. Like, I can't have you just kind of fix it up. Like, I need it to be completely in good shape, okay? So same thing with audio. Like, do you want to be in a session where you're like creative and then somebody walks in the door, somebody who's important, and the thing crashes on you, or you just you have to like wait, I have to like load and it's freezing, all like, no, you want to be smooth and masterful with your work. And that sadly also takes into consideration the tools that you use. You use good tools, you get great sounds, and you just work better and you get more gigs, man. I'm telling you, it's important. So take this seriously. Don't use crack plugins. If you want to use them, I mean, you're going to do what you're going to do. I can't influence what you do, but what I can tell you is there's no need. And I'm going to put a bunch of free plugins in our resource page as I'm finding, and I'm talking to more and more companies so we can get free stuff for you guys and create our community, where you don't need to get anything cracked or illegal, and we're all growing and we're asking questions. And there'll be a lot of that inside our musicmastermind.tv platform and our Facebook group. So stay tuned, because we're going to be connecting that stuff real soon, and I'm looking forward to talking to you. And I love this kind of questions, and I love talking about this because it's something that people don't talk about at this level, because you might see a lot of people kind of selling you these ideas from home. Like, I started out with a home studio too, man. Don't see this and go, hey, like, this guy I started with a freaking desktop, and a sound card, a sound blaster card. If I'm dating myself. If you know what a sound blaster card is, like, props to you. If you didn't have to Google that, you're a G. Okay? So that being said, I love you guys. I want to see you back next Friday. If you haven't checked out the resource page, please go to musicmastermind.com/resources. It's going to be amazing. You're going to love the layout of everything, and you're going to find all this really crazy stuff and recaps of this episode. I'm out. I love you. See you next week. Hasta la vista, baby. Cheers.